steals, J bन्छ, Diko bन्छ. Pentagon International College, Tinkune, Kathmandu, where excellence prevails. Real, Jamghat jahan real party pack tyahan.
Proud to be associated with Kantipur News.
It has been a politically charged day in the country with major developments unfolding on multiple fronts. The Nagarikmukti Party has officially withdrawn its support from the ruling coalition, adding fresh uncertainty to the government's stability. Meanwhile, in the National Assembly, lawmakers continue to protest over the controversial cooling off period provision in the Federal Civil Service Bill. With tensions running high both inside and outside Parliament, all eyes are now on how the government responds to the growing political pressure. Good evening, I'm Samriddhi K.C. and these are the headlines of the hour. A contribution-based social security system to be implemented for employees appointed for the fiscal year 2080-83, replacing the traditional pension and gratuity system. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli returns home after attending the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development held in Spain. The US Congress passes Donald Trump's sweeping tax and spending bill, a major win for the president's domestic agenda. Trump to sign the bill into law later today. And Nepal and Singapore to face off in the finals of the ACC Men's Under-16 East Zone Cup tomorrow. Finals scheduled in Bangi, Malaysia at 7:45 a.m. Nepal time. Starting from the fiscal year 2080-83, a contribution-based social security system will be implemented for employees appointed from that period onward, replacing the traditional pension and gratuity system. The Ministry of Finance has circulated a notice to all ministries, regulatory bodies, public institutions, boards, committees and establishments to make necessary arrangements for the implementation of this social security system. The Finance Ministry has also requested that it be made clear the government of Nepal will not bear the liabilities that arise due to the non-implementation of the contribution-based social security system. A proposal has been raised in the House of Representatives Finance Committee to increase the limit of Indian rupees that Indian tourists can carry into Nepal and to open a pathway for legalizing undeclared money through a one-time tax. However, Finance Minister Bishnu Paudel has urged that discussions on black money not be held in the Parliament or its committees at this time, as Nepal is currently on the Financial Action Task Force FATF grey list. On Friday, during a discussion on the amendment bill to the Bank and Financial Institution Act, lawmaker Purna Bahadur Tamang urged Finance Minister Paudel to allow the circulation of Indian notes of 500 and 1,000 in Nepal. He stated that the current requirement for Indian tourists to bring only 100 notes has negatively impacted tourism. Lawmaker Tamang also suggested that undeclared assets could be legalized through taxation. In response, Finance Minister Paudel said that Nepal alone cannot decide to accept 500 and 1,000 notes as it requires bilateral agreement with India. He emphasized that the issue of converting black money into legal funds is sensitive and should not be discussed now, as raising such matters in Parliament may increase the risk of Nepal being placed on the blacklist. India had demonetized 500 and 1,000 notes in 2016 to curb black money and counterfeit currency. However, even after 9 years, no initiative has been taken to exchange Indian currency held in Nepal. Lawmakers have criticized this as diplomatic failure on Nepal's part. In the Finance Committee, lawmakers also stated that limited access of banks in rural areas have led to the rise of informal money, lenders and savings and credit cooperatives. They stressed the need to amend laws to ensure easier access to banking services. And Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli has arrived home this evening after attending the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development held in Spain. Leading the Nepali delegation, Prime Minister Oli had departed for Spain on Saturday, 14th of Achara. During this stay, he held meetings with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and also had a bilateral meeting with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. In addition, Prime Minister Oli held discussions with Estonian President Ala Karis, Egyptian Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Kemal Madbouly and Portuguese Prime Minister Luis Montenegro. He addressed the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development and also chaired the high-level meeting of Least Developed Countries (LDCs). Besides participating in the high-level dialogue on new approaches to development aid, the Nepali delegation led by Prime Minister Oli attended various other programs as well. Chairperson of CPN Unified Socialist and former Prime Minister Madav Kumar Nepal has declared that he is ready to make any sacrifice if anyone can present evidence that he has been involved in corruption. Speaking at a program held today at the party's central office in Aloknagar, Chairperson Nepal asserted that he has never stood in support of anything inappropriate. He also claimed that CPN UML is currently facing a deep crisis. Chairperson Nepal further stated that the downfall of the current government is inevitable, it's only a matter of time. He remarked the government has failed to address the suffering and grievances of the people. Nagarikmukti Party has decided to withdraw its support from the government. Party chairperson Ranjita Shrestha informed Kantipur News that the party will formally withdraw its support from both the federal and provincial governments today. The decision comes after Chief Minister of Sudur Pashchim Province Kamal Bahadur Shah dismissed Minister for Industry, Tourism, Forest and Environment Rameshwar Chaudhary on Thursday. Following this, the Nagarikmukti Party decided to exit both federal and provincial governments. The party stated that even though it was a part of coalition, the dismissal of the minister in Sudur Pashchim without any consultation has made its presence in the government meaningless. Party patron Resham Chaudhary also announced on Thursday that the party would be withdrawing its support from the government. In Sudur Pashchim province, the government is a coalition led by the Nepali Congress, including CPN UML and Nagarikmukti Party. The Congress holds 18 seats, UML has 11 and Nagarikmukti has 7 seats. Despite the Nagarikmukti Party withdrawing its support, the federal and provincial governments will not fall into a minority. It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, why has the disciplinary department of the CPN Unified Socialist sought an explanation from Ram Kumari Chakri regarding her remarks on party chair Madav Kumar Nepal? Option A, intention to prohibit dissent. Option B, result of disciplinary infractions. Option C, political maneuvering. And option D, no comment. Visit www.kantipurtv.com or ekantipur.com to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Mr. Bedu Prasad Pandey has announced that he is heading to France to advocate for the inclusion of Tilora Court in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Speaking at the meeting of the International Relations and Tourism Committee on Friday, Minister Pandey stated that the government has made the listing of Tilora Court in the World Heritage List a priority agenda. He added that he will be participating in the upcoming World Heritage Committee meeting in Paris to push this effort forward. According to him, the government has been working towards this goal for a long time. The committee, composed of 21 member countries, must approve nominations through a majority vote. Minister Pandey mentioned that countries from Asia, including India, Qatar, Japan, and South Korea, are the part of the committee. He noted that several archaeological artifacts have been discovered in Tilora Court, and scientific studies have confirmed that the area had early industrial development and urban infrastructure typically found in modern cities. The World Heritage Committee meeting will be held in Paris. Now, the Department of Transport Management has suspended all services related to driver's license due to a technical issue in its licensing system. Issuing a notice today, the department announced that all services related to drivers' licenses have been halted until further notice. This includes the electronic driving license EDL system, the online application system, and the urgent license printing service. The department has stated that efforts are underway to resolve the issue and that all services will remain suspended until another official notice is published. A dispute has erupted after the government moved forward with a plan to clean and break rocks in the Manjushri Gorge at Chovvar, citing frequent flooding in Kathmandu Valley due to the obstructed monsoon water outflow. The gorge, which serves as the exit point for over 80 rivers, streams, canals and rivulets in the valley, is not only critical for drainage but also holds religious, historical and archaeological significance. The government's plan to remove 5 large rocks situated approximately 150 meters above the gorge has sparked opposition from locals. They argue that there have been no detailed study on the potential risk of maneuvering these rocks. Meanwhile, the growing trend of encroaching upon rivers and streams to build structures continues unchecked, leading to settlements being flooded during the rainy season. Rather than blaming the natural watercourses, the focus should be on regulated urban development, an issue that has drawn little attention so far.
The final drainage point of Kathmandu Valley's rivers is Chovvar Gorge. About 150 meters above the gorge lie 5 massive rocks. Government studies claim these rocks block water flow, causing flooding in several parts of Kathmandu and Lalitpur. But locals argue the rocks have no such impact. They have been there for thousands of years.
पहिरोले खसेर यो त्यहाँ गएर बसेको ढुङ्गा नि यो पहिलादेखि भएको भइआएको ढुङ्गा नै हो। अब त्यो ढुङ्गाले के गरिरहेछ भनेदेखि यो जुन पानीको बहाव छ नि तपाईको, अब पानीको बहावलाई चाहिँ अब त्यो मिलाउने काम गरिरहेछ। यो ढुङ्गा हटाउनेबित्तिकै तपाईको पानी बहाव त बढ्छ। पानीको बहाव बढेपछि यसको खोलाको गहिराई बढ्छ। दायाँ बायाँ यसले चाहिँ अब बिस्तारै पहिरो खसाल्ने क्षयकरण हुँदै जान्छ। अब त्यसरी क्षयकरण भएपछि त बिस्तारै पहिरो लाग्छ। अब पहिरो गएको यहाँ देखिन्छ हैन।
पौराणिक चीजलाई चाहिँ हामीले छुनु हुन्न। हामीले यो गल्ती त बिगार्न सक्छौं तर बनाउन सक्दैनौं नि हामीले। त्यो भवनाले यसले चाहिँ संरक्षण गर्नुपर्छ हामीले।
How did the plan to remove rocks from Chovvar Gorge begin? During the second week of October last year, heavy floods submerged many areas of Kathmandu Valley. Amid the disaster, some individuals shared videos on social media suggesting that cutting through the Chovvar Gorge could improve water drainage. Subsequently, on March 1st, Ward 18 of Lalitpur Municipality and on March 3rd, Ward 6 of Kantipur Municipality sent letters to the high-powered Bagmati Civilization Integrated Development Committee, requesting measures to manage the nearby river and mitigate landslide risks. These letters were forwarded to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Authority under the Ministry of Home Affairs, which then included the removal of obstructions from Chovvar Gorge in its pre-monsoon preparedness and response plan. The Bagmati Civilization Committee claims that the plan only involves removing 5 rocks from above the gorge without harming the gorge itself.
गल्छीको सुरुवात बिन्दु तर्निर भन्छ परम्परा गल्छी भन्दा बाहिरपट्टि त्यहाँ 4-5 वटा ढुङ्गाहरू छन्। कुनै चाहिँ नि अलि अगाडिका होलान्, कुनै चाहिँ नि पहिरोले थुपारेका ढुङ्गा पनि हुन सक्छन्। तर त्यो ढुङ्गाले बहावलाई चाहिँ केही न केही मात्रामा चाहिँ अवरोध गरेर माथिपट्टि पोन्डिङ गर्नलाई सहयोग गरिरहेको भन्ने सामान्य आकलनबाट ती ढुङ्गाहरूलाई सकेसम्म चाहिँ ठुलो अवरोध नगरिकन, ठुलो चाहिँ नि विस्फोटक पदार्थ या अन्य कुनै पनि चीज प्रयोग नगरिकन मानवीय रूपले हैन हाते मेसिनहरु प्रयोग गरेर त्यो ढुङ्गालाई चाहिँ के हटाउन सकियो, त्यसलाई चाहिँ केही घटाउन सकियो भने त्यो चाहिँ अवरोधको लेभल कम हुन्छ र भनेर त्यो 5 वटा ढुङ्गालाई व्यवस्थापन गर्ने भन्ने हाम्रो योजना हो।
The Lalitpur and Kantipur municipalities insist that river cleaning should not affect the 5 rocks. They claim that the intent of their letters was never to cut the gorge or remove the rocks. One of the primary causes of flooding in Kathmandu Valley is the encroachment of rivers and streams. Structures have been built right up to the river banks, sometimes leaving less than 5 meters of buffer, despite regulations requiring at least 20 meters on both sides. One of such example is in Nakhu confluence area of Ward 18, Lalitpur Metropolitan City. Buildings have been constructed without maintaining even 5 meters of clearance.
5वटा ढुङ्गा पहिलादेखि रहेको त्यसलाई हामी छुनु हुँदैन भन्ने पक्षमै छु म कुनै हालतमा छुनु हुँदैन त्यो माथिको ढुङ्गाले कहीँ कतै माथि रोकिया छ भनेदेखि माटोले चाहिँ के अवरोध खडा गर्यो भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ पन्साएर माथि त्यो त सुन्दर घाटदेखि नै हामीले व्यवस्थापन गर्दै ल्याउनु पर्छ
घर बनाएको छ खोलाले 10 मिटर के 20 मिटर पनि नछोडिकन मान्छेहरूले घर बनाइरहेछ अहिले आएर चाहिँ मेरो घर डुबान पर्यो यहाँ ढुङ्गा खोतलेर यो ठुलो गराउनु पर्यो यहाँ ब्लास्टिङ गरेर ढुङ्गा हटाउनु पर्यो भने चाहिँ हुन्छ त्यो त हुँदैन नि त त्यहाँको ढुङ्गा फटाउने हो भने त त्यो मन्दिर पनि बिग्रिन सक्छ मन्दिर पनि लैजान सक्छ त्यही हुनाले यो ठाउँले चाहिँ त्यो यहाँ ढुङ्गाहरू झिक्ने काम चाहिँ गर्नु हुँदैन
The government is pushing forward with its plan to break rocks. No consultation have been held with local residents around the Chovvar Gorge. On top of that, some activists are stirring unrest by spreading rumors that the gorge itself will be cut open, intensifying protests in both Lalitpur and Kantipur. The Chovvar Gorge is a site of great religious, historical and archaeological significance. Locals insist it must not be disturbed. Meanwhile, the government seems to keep floating various proposals, whether it be tunneling, cutting through the gorge or removing rocks without a clear plan, frustrating residents. Development in this area should not be driven by impulse but must involve local participation and ensure that the gorge remains unharmed.
Kantipur Television's trainee journalist Sanskriti Achara has successfully progressed to the 2025 World Championship of Public Speaking hosted by Toastmasters International. Having secured wins at the club area and division stages, she also claimed victory at the district level competition held in New Delhi. In the quarterfinals, Sanskriti competed against other district champions and prevailed once again, outperforming 128 top contestants worldwide in the regional round to earn a place among the top 28 semi-finalists. She will now represent Nepal and her Toastmasters region at the semi-finals in Philadelphia, continuing her impressive journey on the international platform.
Sports News.
Welcome back. Nepal and Singapore will face off in the final of the ACC Men's Under-16 East Zone Cup tomorrow, with Nepal aiming to defend their title. Nepal reached the final by thrashing host Malaysia by 9 wickets, chasing down a target of 91 runs in just 12 overs. Singapore defeated Hong Kong by 4 wickets to book their place in the finals. Both teams advanced from Group A, where Nepal had earlier beaten Singapore by 6 wickets. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Our colleague Pushpa K.C will be here shortly with more of the day's developments. Keep watching Kantipur TV HD. Bye for now.